In some respect, this is a bumper year for Shalini. Last year, for the first time, Iran invested more in photovoltaic cells than in coal and gas-fired power generation combined. This year, new solar installations in America are expected to more than double China, which now has more solar capacity than any other country, plans to triple it by the end of the decade. Yet this week, two of the rich world's most prominent solar power developers have been flooded with disaster check on by oil-hungry creditors and investors. They had expanded too quickly, reliant on heavy borrowing and financial engineering. Now, for the first time, some energy firms fool themselves into believing that newfangled technology and funding mechanism could let them defy law of financial gravity. On March 29th, some edition in America found that Quants itself, the world's largest renewable energy development company, was described in a public firing as facing assaults. Since the risk of bankruptcy a day earlier, the Wall Street Journal reported the firm was under investigation by the Security and Exchange Commission over accounting disclosure. Its debts exceed $11 billion gathered in just a few years across the entire avenue of being Spanish renewable engineering firm with $9.3 billion of debt earlier avoided bankruptcy this week after the reporter of this creditors granted it a temporary reprieve to allow for the approval of a debt restructuring plan after 4 months of pre-bankruptcy proceeding. The truth was a big relief. Both firms were emblematic of excitement over clean energy. They borrowed orders to build large projects that delivered energy to utilize at increasingly attractive prices. They then sold the publicly listed and tax-efficient offshoots known as MCOs that funded themselves by issuing shares in 2014. The biggest such share sales in America were by the Edison, Exxon, Terraform Power, and Terraform Global, and by the economists. Avanga is raised over $500 million, but they were blinded by their own success, says Gray Jones of Credit Sites financial research firm. A plug in oil prices and higher risk premium for energy firms made it harder for Elcos to raise money, which violated their promise to shareholders not only to issue steady payout but also to increase returns. They assumed there would always be access to capital market. He says Sun Editions has become particularly active in the middle of last year when bosses said its shares were substantially undervalued at the 30 million. They have since fallen below $1. Analysts say in contributions of fugitives, furious operational failures, murky financials, and Saudi corporate governments cast a shadow over the clean tech industry through many firms are far more prudently managed. Sun Edison's problem began last summer with $2.2 billion merger agreement with Vivint Solar, a developer of rooftop solar controlled by Blackstone's a private equity group. It hoped to use Terraform Power to buy Vivint assets, but other Terraform investors objected that the real cost was become a dumping ground for Sun Edison's expensive acquisitions. Vivint ended up scrapping the merger in the own analysis. The credit signals murky debt disclosures, which further impacted confidence in Sun Edison. The company has twice since in a financial statement and admitted a material weakness in its internal controls over financial reporting that may explain the SEC interest, which exploited the concern of creditors. It's like a gigantic cake of debt, says Mr. Johnson. Edison's had also upset Terraform shareholders by saying victims. Hello, Santosh. कहाँ से हैं आप? Chief financial officers would become chief executive of the aircraft producer, subordinating their boards to the parent company. On such threatens both Aircraft announces its designations. The uncertainty is affecting its business activity, while electric utility that agreed to buy power from SunEdison is trying to cancel the contract because of the seller failure to meet financial deadline and it fears the projects could be drawn into bankruptcy proceedings like SunEdison's agreement will become itself for its trouble. Instead, purple growth took place under the auspices of funding Benjamin family, which had strong political connections. Gabriel 28 million worth of projects between 2019 and 2025, including the water desalinations plants between 2011 to 2015. Its debt to earning ratio balance many thought it was too big to fail, but stands in last summer in Brazil where it was building power transmission line. When admitted in July, it would have to spend more than planned on its Brazilian project. After denying its need to raise more from investor, management announced a $650 million capital increase that generated confidence. The film said, क्या हो गया? ऐसे क्यों फेंक रहे हैं? डर गया ना? Most of its big construction projects have fallen quiet and it hopes to reinvent itself under the. Hey Ayush! आयुष आयुष बाबू को कपड़ा पहना दीजिएगा ना उधर दिए हैं the new would receive fresh. Most of its big construction projects have fallen quiet and hopes to reinvent itself under the restructuring plan. Contractors would see 70% of debt swept into equity. Existing shareholders would be left with just 5% of equity. That is painful, but better than going into liquidations. The new Avenida would receive fresh funding and do more technical constructs for others. It would still level under 4.9 billion of debt, but could at least focus on the type of engineering it does best. And Edison may not have even this luxury. If our party in each of the following short passages given with one of the line is passage and represented by a blank, select the best out of 5 answers given to complete the passage. If our party can't even handle food safety issue properly and keep on mishandling them, then people will ask whether we are fit to keep ruling China. So Xi Jinping warned officials in 2013, a year after he became the country leader. It was a remarkable statement for the chief of the Communist Party that has always claimed to have a backing of the people. It suggested that Mr. Xi understood मुझको धड़कनों में तुम छुपा के रखना 116 का आंसर बी It suggested that Mr. G understood how grievance about official incompetence and corruption risk boiling over. In 2011, Ronnie Jen, a country singer, recorded "Cost of Living," a poignant song about the former factory workers' search for a job. Sensing there will be many more job seekers than job openings, his campaigns give way a desperation. Bank has started calling and the old are at my door. Similar reference can be heard all over America industrial heartland. Almost six manufacturing jobs. कहाँ से मेरे पास पैसा आएगा जी? तुमको पैसा देता है? कहाँ जी? है? क्या करना है तुमको पैसा का? अच्छा, तो दुकान से क्या लाएगा? नहीं रो, केक लाएगा? हमको खिलाएगा? तब नहीं देंगे, जाओ हटो। हमको खिलाएगा ना? पक्का ना? बदलेगा नहीं ना? उसके ऊपर देखे आयुष रखे थे 10 उसका सिक्का है। वो थोड़ी पहुंच पाएगा। उसके ऊपर रखे हैं बेटा, करकट पे। आई चाचू को बोलो, आई चाचू को बोलो किनारे साइड होगा, किनारे साइड होगा। चेयर लगी ना पहले तो क्लियरली दिख जाएगा। मुझको धड़कनों में तुम छुपा के रखना। आओ मेरे पास, यहाँ था हम तुमको देंगे। उस साइड, इस साइड जल गंगा जल रखा हुआ है। तुम्हारा पैसा बिल्ली ले गई। तो फिर पता नहीं, श्वेता रखी थी। ऐसी चलो ना। Consolidating the big clearinghouse would further consolidate this risk, as if that were not reason enough to give financial regulators was one of the benefit for customers that the LACDB team is doing should rule at a deal out clearinghouse require each party to a derivative trade to make an upfront payment which rises or falls in size as the market moves for against each party. This payment or margin is a part of defense that clear calls upon to make a trade good if either counterparty fails to pay. TV and LIC combined hold $150 billion in such call. नहीं वही रखी है, वो दे देगी। आ रही है बुआ तो तुमको देगी। If a client goes bust and its margin payment are insufficient, the clearer still has other fund to call on, but it is still closer to failure. The exchange say their clear houses will remain separate, but customer of both will be able to onset some classes of derivatives, bid that tend to move in opposition direction, and put up less margin as a result. Rivals such as America's CME already allow this, but that is no reason to replicate its risk. In a crisis, the onsetting correlations between different sort of bids tends to break down. Regulators have recently jacked up the amount of equity with which big banks must fund themselves so as to protect them from losses. Clearinghouse should be treated with even more care. Unless the LHE and DB plates should keep their clearinghouse truly separate, with a ring-fenced default fund and no swing of margin, their tie-up should be blocked. What is क्वेश्चन क्या कह रहे हैं? मुझको धड़कनों में तुम छुपा के रखना बेबी. मोहब्बत में सारा जहां करे लाखों सवाल मगर इतना रखना जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए कसम से जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए. Sentence given in each question when properly sequence from current paragraph. Each sentence is elaborated with the letter choose the most logical. हाँ नहीं बेटा हम अभी नहीं उठेंगे हम पढ़ के तो हम उठ रहे हैं. Economic theory predicts that trade. हाँ बेटा. That trade, though often good for average income, will swell the pay of those workers whose skills are relatively. रो मत देखो अभी हम मेरे सर जो हमको होमवर्क दिए हैं ना हम होमवर्क बना लेंगे ना तो हम तुमको देखेंगे. अभी मेरे सर हमको मारने लगते हैं ना देखा है ना होमवर्क दिए हैं बस होमवर्क बना के हम तुमको दे देंगे. Economic theory predicts that trade do good for average income. The pay of those workers whose skills are relatively abundant overseas. A sharp rise in the college premium, the additional wages earned by skilled workers from around 30% in economic. Trade though has an acute image problem. Its benefits are hard to perceive directly, spread as they are across large constitutions, consumer exporters and workers who may not realize just how much of what they make is shipped overseas. In contrast, its costs are highly constructed. Cheap imports have been lethal for many American manufacturers, particularly in the Midwestern and South. But for some time, there the two trends and that would explain why the return to education increased in the poor countries, which trade theory did not predict. But by 2008, Mr. Gilman had changed his mind, warning that sheer volume to trade with China and other poor countries were probably increasing liquidity. In 2013, an updated estimate of his model showed that trade with poor countries displaced skilled workers visited. जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए कसम से जीना सिर्फ मोहब्बत जीना सिर्फ दो तो बेटा तुम अपना ले लाओ चेयर तुम अपना चेयर ले लाओ ये मेरा ना है यार कुछ देते ही नहीं करता है सब इसी का हो जाता है. तुम छुपा के रखना
हम जा रहे हैं, अब हमको नहीं रहना है तुम्हारे पास। मगर रखना इतना ख्याल, जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए हो, जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए, कसम से। बाबा तुमको मारेंगे और कुछ नहीं। मुझको धड़कना पाएंगे। तुम छुपा के रखना। हाँ नहीं है। चेयर देगा? तुम अपना चेयर ले लो। तुमको नींद भी नहीं आता है? नींद नहीं आता है? आ रहा है, जाओ ना सो जाओ। चलो तो सो जाओ। आ रहा है तुमको? नहीं आ रहा। हम तुमसे नहीं बोल पाएंगे यार, छोड़ो। मगर रखना इतना ख्याल, जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए, जीना सिर्फ मेरे लिए, कसम से। जीना सिर्फ बाबू एक कैट है, भाग जाएगी अब। भाग गई नहीं दिखेगी तुमको। वो बाउंड्री में थी, इधर चली आई शायद। किधर है? बाउंड्री में है। को नहीं दिख रही है वो बाउंड्री में। को नहीं दिख रही है तो नहीं दिखेगी अभी। छुप गई, भाग जाती है आदमी को देख के। जब आदमी को देखती है ना तो भाग जाती है, क्योंकि तुम लोग मारने लगते हो उसको। नहीं मारते हम लोग। क्या करता है तुम? हम लोग का प्यार करते हैं कैट से। ओह, तुम्हारा सब दूध पी जाएगी वो गया वाला। देखो आ रही है ना। क्या करने? तुम्हारा सब आज आया है ना। मेरी देखो हमारी दादी ना। फिर आएगी फिर जाएगी। फिर आएगी फिर जाएगी। देखो तो पीहू अपने छत पर है क्या? देखो मुझको धड़कन तुम छुपा के रखना, छुपा के रखना। नहीं है। तुम मालिक दोस्त। हाँ नीचे है। यहाँ से दिखेगी, इधर यहाँ से देखो, यहाँ से। ए भाई हम तुमसे बोल ही नहीं पाएंगे, हम काहे को बोलते हैं तुमसे। हाँ, मन से धड़कनों में तुम छुपा के रखना।